Welcome to the CryptoTwits podcast. This is our third episode with our third co-host because, well, when you start a podcast right before Christmas and Thanksgiving, between Christmas and Thanksgiving and New Year's, schedules get mixed up. So I'm here, and also Joey. You've probably seen him in their wonderful with another Stocktwits host, Mike Bowling. True Odds is their podcast where they talk about markets a little bit and sports the rest of the time. Pretty much. Is that pretty much?
I mean, earnings season went away, so we had to increase the sports talk. We got a little Venezuela talk this past episode, but we go wherever the prediction markets take us.
Oh, yeah, we're going to get into maybe a little bit of Venezuela here, but quick update on the market for the week. Pepe, of course, crypto. Out of the top 50 market cap, Pepe is leading at up 51.39% this year. The next one is Sui at 28.16%. But out of the top five, only two of them are meme coins. And World Liberty Financial is the fifth best performer at 23%. Otherwise, I mean, it's a down day today. Yesterday was down too. In yesterday's newsletter, shared a whole bunch of charts saying that a lot of it was just a technical pullback. And I kind of had to redo the entire outline for today's podcast because of what happened with Zcash, but we'll get into that here shortly. Getting into a little bit of the vibe check on Stocktwits. Users are, let's see. Go back to Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Everybody was pretty bullish on Bitcoin, Ethereum, and everything else. Meme coins as well. Now things have shifted to neutral to bearish. Bitcoin's flirting with going back below 90K. Ethereum is struggling to hold 3K. And then CryptoQuant, they're an on-chain analytics firm. They did a post about how that we've been in a bear market since November. I'm going to talk a little bit about that here. And also liquidations today. I'm going to look at the most updated one on the tab here. Over the last 24 hours, 466 million. 420 million of that is on the long side, which is pretty much par for the course with what happens in crypto over the last year. When there is a liquidation flush, it has all been on the long side. Do you leverage trade at all, Joey?
A little bit, but I mean, my extent is utilizing margin, my Robinhood deal that they gave me. So I don't go too heavy. I always follow the rule: get rich once, then don't fuck it up. So, I mean, if you build a solid base in your portfolio, why continue to lever up to the point where you could lose it all, overnight or, one quick drawdown in the market? So, I mean, I'm overly cautious just because, I have a wife and 17 kids, as you like to say. Oh, so.
Yeah. I don't have 17 kids. I've got two. But when you have a wife, kids who it's a different game. When you've got people relying on you, it's way risk averse is not even the word for it. Except I'm in crypto, so I don't really have much to talk about.
Exactly. If I were a single guy, with very little bills, some tiny little studio apartment or something like that, I would have a much better appetite for risk. But yeah, when you've got all these mouths to feed, all these people relying on you, you know that you're going to have 4 kids that might try to demand to go to college as much as you think college is a scam. So,
yes. Yeah. It's leverage is one of my mentors said, leverage is a double-edged sword. It'll stab you on both ends. Let's get into Capitulation Station. So I want to talk a little bit about the CryptoQuant, their piece on the crypto market being a bear market. First off, do you think crypto's in a bear market?
It definitely feels that way. I mean, ever since Bitcoin kissed that $125,000 level, it's just been all downhill since. And every single time it seems like, okay, we're back above 90,000. We're finally going to run to 9,500. You just immediately pull back. And I mostly see this with all these different Bitcoin treasury companies. I mean, most notably MicroStrategy. So, they got some positive news yesterday that MSCI will not exclude crypto treasury companies from their indexes, but it seems like it was just kind of like a little pop.
Was that a last minute thing? Because they were going to keep it out, right? Was that a last minute decision?
They've been whipsawed back and forth. It's kind of like Trump with the defense contractors yesterday. It seems like MSCI was going to go one way, then they realized, hey, a lot more companies are doing this, and it seems to be kind of the way companies will go in the future. Why have cash on your balance sheet when they're just printing more and more every single day, making it worthless? Like, may as well park it in something else that could appreciate. So
yeah, it's what I feel the same way. Like when people buy a treasury or an ETF of crypto, like you do what you want to do, but I always feel like the same with precious metals. I would rather just own the physical metals. I don't want the paper.
That's always been my argument. So, there's one of my very good friends here at Stocktwits. He was pitching me on strategy, north of 400. And I just kept asking, like, why do I want to own this over Bitcoin? And I know there's a lot of cool pitches. Oh, they're going to stake it for this and pay dividends on this and all these different arguments. I'm like, well, if you think Bitcoin's going to 250,000, then a million, like, why do you want to own a company that you're trading at the time? It was what, like 1.5, almost 2 times the actual NAV of the holdings. I was like, I don't understand this. You're essentially buying Bitcoin north of 200,000. Why not just buy Bitcoin? So like, that's always my argument. Same with BMNR and all these other things. So I was like, if I think Bitcoin's going to a million, I want to own Bitcoin. I don't want to own some tracker for it.
Yeah. The staking ETFs are the other thing that is like really, I haven't written a lot about or talked a lot about, but it's kind of like, so if there's, let's say, for example, there's ever like a Cardano ETF where they introduce staking. All right. It's not a hard thing to do to buy Cardano and stake it yourself, because you buy it, you stake it, you hit the pool, and then your hands off. Maybe check it every few months to make sure that mining pool is up and running, but which I've never had one like go down, at least for Cardano. But there's a lot of gain that you lose when you've parked it into a treasury or an ETF that is doing the staking for you, because they don't do it for free. And yeah, you just lose out a lot, which is kind of a pain in the ass. But but in regard to the bear market thing, I disagree with that being in a bear market. I mean, it may be developing into one, but it's not at one yet, because, all right, Bitcoin has like 3 to 4 times the volatility of the S&P 500. So a 30% pullback in Bitcoin is like 10 to 12% for the S&P. In the stock market, a 20% down from the all-time high, that's the bear market definition. For crypto, 20% down is like every other damn Tuesday. That's like normal. When people are, crypto's down like 30% today. You said, I mean, if you're new to it, it's painful. But if you've been in it for a long time, it's no biggie. I mean, just to like put this into perspective, in 2017, there were 9 greater than 25 to 28% drawdowns on the way to 20K. And on the way to 100K, there was, I mean, when I went through the charts manually, like looking at the pullbacks and their tracements, 30 to 40% for Bitcoin in an expansion phase, totally normal. Altcoins get annihilated, and they have been for a long time. But yeah, for Bitcoin at least, that's not a bear market. And one thing they were calling a bottom for the bear market at 55K, which would still make it like the shallowest bear market bottom that Bitcoin has ever seen. So, yeah,
my one argument here would be, I mean, it's almost like Bitcoin, even in the last 6 years, like you've graduated multiple classes to where you went from the fake internet money into the scam coin that traffickers use to something that now all these institutions that were calling it a fraud are launching ETFs and hoarding it beyond belief. So I feel like your bear markets may have changed from those 60% drawdowns to maybe 40%. And you might get to the point in the very near future where that 20% pullback is a bear market.
Definitely, like going back to, if you go back to like Bitcoin's beginning and then to now, the percentage of the range of the drop as more money has come into it has tightened up. So it's not And you're seeing that, you see it like on a lot of the order books or on-chain metrics, where you would see some of these, trading houses, desks, they would have these, resting orders, quote unquote, kind of parked at a certain range. Now they've had to tighten up a lot because they've been missing a lot. So yeah, it is getting a lot tighter. And also the supply of Bitcoin on exchanges is at where it was in November of 2017. There's only like a little over 1 million Bitcoin on the exchanges right now for like normal people to get. So the Bitcoin that is out there, that like Strategy and all these other people, they're having to buy and sell it from people who already have it, who don't want to get rid of it. And like that supply squeeze hasn't triggered yet, and it's going to trigger eventually. But yeah, that's where we're at there. Okay, this wasn't on my list this morning, but when I saw on my phone that on my Kraken account that my Zcash stop had been hit, trailing stop, I was like, oh, okay, what's going on here? And I was like, oh, all right. And then it wasn't until I got to my office and I saw Barkley, the other crypto guy here at Stocktwits, had sent a message that the entire board of the electronic coin company, they're the main devs for Zcash, they all resigned. So I was doing like a little research. So the CEO says that they were collectively discharged. But here's the only thing that I was worried about when I heard that is that Zuko, the guy who created Zcash, also for those of you who don't know, he is about as OG crypto as you can get. He worked on, what was it called, like in the 90s, the first kind of iteration. He worked on that with the dude who started at the BitCash, maybe it was, I can't remember the name of it. But this was not many decades ago, but back in the 90s. So, and then also the second person to ever respond to the first post from Satoshi was Zuko, the guy who created Zcash. So this guy is OG crypto. He is like as close to Satoshi as I think you're going to get. He probably is him. But anyways, I was more concerned, okay, is he leaving? Because that was his team. But turns out, as I'm looking at my notes here, he sided with the board to drop them, basically. And that's all I know so far. So that had been kind of a hit, because Zcash, let's see, today it opened at 469 and it got as low as 379. And I got tagged out at like 389. Now it's back up to 425. Thing is, Zcash it's got a treasury now. The Gemini, the Winklevoss twins, they're all in on it, which is crazy. But they don't have Cardano on their platform. I have asked questions about that too. Why don't they have Cardano, but they have Zcash? But Zcash is down, but it's only down 9.51% now. It was down close to 20%. But I don't know. People aren't like freaking out about it that much, so we'll see what happens.
So is this a situation where once people realize the mastermind behind all of it is staying there, that it's so like essentially for, say, equity investors, this is like if every engineer at Tesla quit, but Elon Musk is staying, is that like the equivalent? Oh
yeah, that's actually a pretty damn good example. Like, like if I like Tesla, and if they said like, oh, everybody's leaving. Oh, but is Musk?
Okay. Yeah, see, that puts it in perspective.
Yeah.
Like, this guy can find every developer, every engineer he would need. So,
yeah. Zuko's pretty awesome. And, he's great for Zcash. I mean, and if he would have left, then I think this thing would have fucking tanked big time. But there's been a huge resurgence in privacy concerns in the crypto space. I mean, privacy is one of the core tenets of crypto to begin with, but it's been forgotten because most people just want number to go up regardless of privacy. But now that's become a thing. So, yeah, we'll get there. Transitioning now to Venezuela and discussions about their Bitcoin. A couple things about that. I didn't want to talk a lot about it, but also it is kind of funny because we don't know if the guy who has it actually has it. Maduro's dude, what's his name? Alex Saab. Maduro's crypto architect. He may control the private keys. That entity, that organization, they're corrupt as fuck. And I have a hard time believing somebody hasn't been shanked for that private key or tortured. So we don't know who has it. But the number of Bitcoin that they have is a substantial amount. It's 3% of the current circulating supply. It's not a small amount. But also, like, if he doesn't have it, if that key is gone, that's freaking bullish as hell for Bitcoin, because that's a lot of supply that is just poof if they don't have it.
Yeah, and say this guy just says he has these private keys, but doesn't really, but that's how he's keeping himself alive and like important in that inner circle.
Yeah. I mean, personally, it wouldn't take too many fingers for me to say, okay, here it is. So I don't know. I don't know if he's in that same kind of, but also part of that is the Polymarket. Have you guys talked about the Polymarket stuff at all with Venezuela?
So we were just talking about, the current president being the VP, but like, will you have so that whole situation, like you're saying that it was an illegitimate presidency, but now the illegitimate vice president is your president. So like, that's the whole Polymarket we were discussing. Who will be the leader in 2026?
I was talking about the account that has made some pretty phenomenal wagers right before something happens.
Oh yeah, and now I saw another guy that was like 4 for 4 on everything Israeli military related.
Yeah, so like the one with Venezuela, I mean, it was, I don't remember when the bet was placed, but went very long on it right shortly after.
4 hours before.
Yeah. Netted 436,000 with 1,242% in 4 days. Not bad. So, yeah, that Representative Torres wants to introduce a bill to ban government insider trading on prediction markets. Oh, good fucking luck. There's already a ban on insider trading for Congress, and that doesn't seem to matter. Like, it's stupid. So who knows who it is? Some people think it's Barron Trump. I have no idea. Could be.
I mean, I've seen the moves he's made in crypto. That kid, he's on a path to being a billionaire. So, I mean, it's almost like prediction markets are encouraging these people because, it keeps the odds. It's almost like giving all the public the information that the private side has, and it's basically making a fair market. Now, the other side is, all right, if you have classified information, you're trading on it to make a ton of money. I don't know. I find it all fascinating. I love it. I hope no one tries to ban it. But even then, good luck.
Yeah, big time good luck. Speaking of Trump, moving into, we'll probably call this, this looked better last night. So Trump made that announcement yesterday about getting institutions out of the housing market. Good freaking luck. But something I've been preaching about, I've been wanting to write about, and I'm happy that it came up, is that institutions, they're like 1% to 2% of the residential housing market. Mostly they're affecting particular areas of the market. But I'll tell you, if anybody's not been paying attention, there is an insane amount of smaller companies that are tokenizing private property and making a big bank on that and getting people to invest, because it's absolutely nuts. This is like just some of the ones. So like there's a company called Lofty, $50 minimum investment. They're tokenized on Algorand. Daily rental income, you get paid. Realties, $50 minimum, 970 plus properties. They've tokenized weekly stablecoin dividends. Arrived as $100 minimum.
Hey, I worked at Arrived.
Oh yeah. Oh,
I did.
That's the one backed by Jeff Bezos, right?
That is. That was one of the big marketing campaigns.
They've got 466 properties. Fundrise is a well-known one. $10 minimum, 2 million investors. They got 7 billion assets under management. Ground floor. But just to like give an example, all right, I'll just pull them. I'm not going to name the entity here, but this is just like one example. I get an email from another company that does these kind of things. They have this property in Pennsylvania. They give it a name like the Yacht or the Cool Place, whatever. They give it like a name. And like this one, for example, they have an $850,000 raise. There's X 10K left. They got it at a discount. Anyways, and they give you like an investment snapshot, you know, and then they buy and sell these things all the time. So all these private residential properties are getting swung. And actually, I have seen in one day one email for this property that I saw like last week that they purchased, and then the same property, they called it something else, and another company had bought it from there. And yeah, it's just crazy. And so I don't know how much of residential housing is. I mean, we know how much for like large institutions, but how much of it is made up of these smaller entities? I mean, I don't even know. Like, I don't know what to guess what it would be.
Well, yeah, and then you have these other people that are just real estate investors, because I have a very close friend of mine that has, I think he's got like 80 to 100 homes in his residential portfolio, and I would not call him, you know, a major corporation. He was just a very smart immigrant that got here, bought a house, basically used the gains on that house to leverage it to get another, and he just kept doing it. So, I mean, you've got these Blackstones that come in and try to buy thousands, but when you look at the overall number of houses as opposed to the number of houses available, like you said, it's a very small percentage. So I could see where you can create the story like, oh yeah, this corporation bought it, and instead of this, you know, American family buying the house, it's like, well, it's not always the case, but
yeah, it's. I mean, like, I don't know where I would pick the side. So like, I don't want to ever celebrate the government intervening and determining who or what can or cannot own something. I mean, even if the targets are sympathetic villains like private equity, I mean, the precedent is very dangerous. But also, I mean, at the same time, this is a thing where people have made a shit ton of money on, and now it's accessible for, I mean, it's more democratized for like normal people to get access to a very, very lucrative market. And it's very exciting, generates a lot of wealth. But, you know, then all of a sudden you have the lawmakers who are like, nope, you guys can't do that now. Nope, you guys can't make money doing that. But at the same time, it's like, you have people who are trying to make more money to perhaps own. People are contributing to the same affordability crisis that locks them out of their home ownership by participating in this. So it's crappy. And I don't know, the Austrian economist to me is like, just let it go. Let the entire thing blow up.
And at the same time, you know, I have some younger friends that just have zero interest in owning a home. They want to rent because they don't want all the responsibilities that come with replacing a roof. Like, if you've ever owned a home and had to replace a roof, I replaced my AC last year. Like, the numbers are just absolutely insane. So when at one point, you know, it made sense to buy a home, now it's almost to the point where, you know, wages have not kept up with the rising home prices to where this entire generation is priced out of buying the home. You kind of need these corporations buying them to then rent you at a level that you can actually afford.
I mean, this is like a whole like non-crypto, non-stock market conversation, but I mean, there's a lot of land in the United States. This has got to be a zoning issue. Like, we're not building enough homes, and I don't believe for a goddamn minute that it's just because things are more expensive.
Well, this does tie directly to what we do, because rather than putting 20% down on some $400,000 home that you can't afford, you're renting, and then all extra income you have, you're piling into Bitcoin or stocks, because you know that the actual returns you can make in those markets could one day help you afford the American dream, if that is even the American dream anymore.
Yeah. Eventually, though, I mean, either the price is going to be too shocking and it'll just collapse, or nature takes a toll. Like the people who are older, who would have traditionally left these big homes, they're going to die. That's just mom, dad, sorry, but you will die. They know that. and then that'll become a vacant property that one of their kids moves into, or the estate puts up for sale. I would expect sometime in the future that's like the more real scenario. You have like a deluge of these properties just popping off because everybody's dying off all at once from one generation. We'll see.
Yep, everybody talks about the great wealth transfer, but yeah, the great real estate transfers in that same breath.
Oh, yeah. So including into things that looked better last night, this is the things that we regret that we ever did. There was a fake Musk giveaway. Somebody made $5 million in 20 minutes. This was over the weekend. Let's see. Oh, rug pulls in Q1 so far. $6 billion in crypto. That's up 6,500% year over year. That's crypto, folks. Oh, and if you're ever one like around, also like if you forgot, like around this time last year, Trump coin, Melania coin, and Haktua. The Haktua coin, if you remember last year, would have been around $490 million. That was the market cap. Now it's at 764. So 95% crash. Melania's is down 99%. So meme coins have had a big resurgence at the beginning of the year this year, but not for those ones. They are not doing well. Nope.
Man, I will say I stumbled upon one of those fake Musk giveaways. They were reporting quarterly earnings, and I was looking for the actual stream for Tesla to watch it. And sure enough, it was this fake AI video of Musk. Hey, scan this QR code, join my giveaway, send me $20, I'll send you back $40, send me. And he just kept rattling off, getting the numbers higher and higher. It looked convincing, but maybe for someone that's not educated in the space.
Yeah, I feel like if Elon Musk was pitching everybody something, I'd raise my red flag. Shit, if even Elon Musk, real dude, even reached out to me on X, I'd be like, yeah, fuck off. You're fake.
You haven't gotten his emails before?
Oh, yeah, they've gotten all sorts of like weird, crazy stuff all the time. Some of it people, the sophistication of scams right now are so good, so convincing. I had one not too long ago. It was for it said CoinDesk reached out, totally official email, nothing wrong. Had the thing scheduled, and there was going to be 5 other panelists, and I was here at night ready to like join it, but then I knew it was bullshit right away when they sent a link for something that was not Google or Microsoft Teams. It was something else, and then all of these people, all these separate individuals, there was like, including the 5 panelists, there were like 3 other producers, all had their own different like type of. So it was a very, very coordinated like attack attempt to get me to download something. Joke's on them. I don't leave my shit on my computer. Ha! Cold wallet storage, bitches. But yeah, so I was like, oh, wow, that was really good. So, but I can see how people who've been in the space forever and a day, they get scammed all the time. Some of the stuff is so sophisticated and so convincing. It's just crazy.
I saw one where I think a guy lost $50 million where he did like a test transfer to a wallet, and then it quickly changed like a couple letters and numbers around, and then he sent the rest of it and just poof.
Well, that's kind of like what happened with Bybit. Bybit last year is like the largest, I think it was like the largest hack ever. The 1.3 billion from Bybit. Like they, without going into a ton of detail, basically what they saw on the screen looked correct, but what was on in the background was not. But they signed the transfer, and then things got wiped. So yeah, blind signatures are not a good idea.
I mean, that happened to my brother when he was buying his house years back. It was like, hey, here's where your wire transfer is going. And then he got another email like an hour or two later, like, hey, we actually accidentally sent the wrong routing information, send it here. And then luckily he called the place and he's like, hey, which one's the right? And they're like, yeah, that wasn't us. Yeah.
Or my wife, we were calling about like changing our flights. This is like probably 10 years ago. And we had Googled, American Airlines phone number. First link.
Yeah, this is good.
First link, we call, go through this long process where they like put us on hold for a minute, and then they like, we'll call you right back. A couple minutes later, they call us back, transfer us to a supervisor. Everything sounds like totally legit, and they all had American accents. So, I mean, everything sounded fine. But then the red flag was we need you to go to Target or Walgreens to get gift cards. And I was like, okay, well, these people are not helping.
They figured out how to game Google. So like you'll get these scam calls and you're like, yeah, this is the real one. Just Google it. So they just, how I saw they do this is they'll just get like this bot farm of thousands of bots to post, here's the Google customer service number, or here's the whatever customer service number. So then as Google scanning all the results, they take it as, okay, all these people said it, this must be fact. And then sure enough, get it to the top of the result and scammers are born. Luckily, they're cracking down on that more, but I feel like if anyone's going to figure it out, Google will. Yeah,
hopefully they do. All right, as we're getting into the end of the podcast here, this is the close. This is what we got going into next week. So next week, big freaking day for next big freaking week for crypto. The Senate Banking Committee has their markup vote for crypto regulation. Talking about the oh my God, I'm having a brain fart. What is it? Oh, the Clarity Act vote. That's going to be a huge deal. That's going to probably like make or break it. Some people think it's the most important week for crypto regulation in U.S. history, as of now at least. So that is the 15th and 16th of next week. Senator Kennedy, that very funny dude, says come or hell or high water, it is going up for a vote. They're going to be talking about things, regarding DeFi, stablecoin yields, because banks are very upset that the guy that they debanked, who is now in office, wants nothing to do with them, and give all the power for lending and yield generation to smaller entities and individuals. And big banks just think that is very bad for their business, which it is. And I think that's the fucking point.
And then, there's a very good chance they're going to have 8 years of JD Vance after that. So it could be a very rough stretch for big banks.
Yeah. So if this bill, the pundits are saying if it doesn't pass by April of this year, the odds of it getting done this year, like very little, won't happen. So there's a big push to get this done and finalized. And I think it's hilarious that the big banks are putting up to the current administration's opponents, and their opponents hate big banks, but now they're cool. It's just a bunch of bullshit. And this is hilarious. But big banks probably should be worried, and we'll see what happens. It's gonna be interesting.
Maybe there'll be a candlelight vigil for the big banks.
Oh, that was you know what? You know what was so sad about that? Is half of them were looking at their phones to sing the correct lyrics.
Wasn't it God Bless America?
God, they look like this. They're like, God bless America, that I know. It was the worst thing I've seen this week.
Dude, my 6-year-old knows that song.
Yeah. That was fucked up. Well, that is it for us today. Thank you for listening and watching. We're going to see you again next week. Maybe Joy will be here. Maybe Barkley. Maybe Kevin. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know who else is going to be here, but I will be here. And to keep up with what people are saying and trading, head over to stocktwits.com, download our app, subscribe to our newsletters, and head over to our YouTube channel, our socials, subscribe to those as well. And don't forget to watch the latest True Odds with Joey and Mike from this week. Have a great week, everyone.